civil service. So the chapter begins with the four facts about government civil service system. Um, Number one, hires employees by merit. Two, pays according to the positions. And three, protection from political interference and dismissal. Four, obligation to accountability. They're going to administer the job regardless of personal or political views, basically. Why is civil service important, first of all? Much of government is labor intensive. The quality of government can only be as good as the people who work for it, right? And the quality of the people depends on the civil service system. Okay, so public employment. More than half of all the state and local employees and almost half of all government employees work in education and libraries. Fundamental elements of the civil service system. Okay, so there's three fundamental elements to the civil service system. There's rules for classification, staffing, and compensation. Let's talk about a little about each of them. Position classification. The identification of the specific knowledge a job requires. The job level of difficulty and the job's responsibilities. Applicants who want to be considered for a position must demonstrate that not only they have necessary skills, but also that they are better qualified than the other people applying for the job, right? Like if I apply for a job, I don't want to I want to get it because I work hard for it and my, my resume speaks on my behalf and my ability to do the job. The civil service is always out to find the best qualified employees to ensure that taxpayers get the most value for their money. Because we all pay taxes, and if we're paying those taxes, we want to have, qualified people, working for our government, deciding stuff. So, okay, so now we're going to talk about staffing. Staffing. The federal government requires open competitive examinations for testing applicants for appointments in the competitive service, which are practical in character and as far as possible relate to matters that fairly test the relative capacity and fitness of the applicants for the appointment sought. The hiring process. Applicants are given one of these two examinations. An assembled examination, which is a written test administered at numerous cities across the country, and it's mostly used for lower positions. Okay, so I don't know if you ever apply for any job, but every time I apply for a job, I just applied one at the library the other day, and I had to take an administered test. Like, what would you do in this situation? What would you do in that situation? What are when you go to an interview, they ask you questions and stuff. So that would be an assembled examination. An assembled is called usually for higher positions. This is when a candidate submits a comprehensive resume detailing education, training, and experience, and of course your references. And they constantly check your references and see how you did in your past employment, if you were, if you're a person of interest for them. Okay. The federal government uses two registers: a ranked list of eligible in the order of their examination grades, used for lower positions, and a ranked list for more scientific positions. On the unranked register, they are persons that the personal agency has determined that are the best qualified individuals. Okay. So, let's talk about a little about outside references that you can use. Okay. So the civil service system, there is an act that was passed in the 1800s, and you can check out more about it on this website. Is www.opm.gov biography, and it tells you why the Civil Service Act was passed and why it ensures, accountability and equality between men and female, and not only men and female, but just like any other, why is it important that there's equality in the job system? Okay. So I talked about employment, and I talked about position qualification and staffing and the hiring process. Well, it used to be harder back then. Right now, usually what governments do, the governments post ads on websites like Monster or Career Search or something. here is a website that gives you all of the job search engines out there. It's called www.jobsearch.com, and it tells you all the search engines for jobs. And this is where like people in government or education like they log on and try to look for a job. And this is like they tell them here if they need what references or what qualifications they need for a job. Okay, so let's talk about promotion. The promotion system relies on 4 factors: career service, face-to-face assessment, flexibility, and the chain reaction. Compensation. The government capacity to attract and keep people able depends heavily on the salaries. The government must compete in the labor market for competent people, and its employees' current and its prospective naturally weigh their pay in deciding where to work. So, if you're looking for a job, of course you're gonna go to. I mean, if you have all these qualifications, of course you're gonna want a pay that meets that. You know, like how you want to get paid for what you're doing, and you want to get paid justly. Okay. So comparable worth. The principle that individuals ought to receive equivalent pay for equivalent responsibilities. That comes back to what I'm saying. If, like personally, like I feel like if I put so much work into something, I want to be paid accordingly. You know, it's like how my work is determined. It's how my work is appreciated and viewed. You know. Unionization and collective bargaining. Unionization is an effort by organizing unions to increase their membership and bargaining power in government. Collective bargaining negotiations by members of the union over employee rights and compensations. The Hatch Act. Federal legislation passed in 1929 restricting policy activities by government employees, also called an act to prevent pernicious and political activities. So, moral of the story. There's all these regulations and laws that, you know, like makes it fair for people to apply for jobs and to work, like be in a work, to be in a job system, you know, in a civil system, and you know, so not just anybody, like usually there's this thing, there's this mentality that it doesn't matter who you know, it's what you know. And that's true, like if you're a qualified individual and you have worked hard for the position, you take tests and you submit resumes and you get the job. Okay, so thank you for listening. This has been our presentation for chapter 8, the civil service. Thank you.